Welcome to the Deadmines Dungeon Guide. Deadmines is the first dungeon Alliance players will have the opportunity to do, and it has some pretty neat lore behind it as well. This dungeon is ideal for agility users, especially those planning on twinking, as well as those searching for a weapon that will last them quite a few levels. Deadmines is also excellent for cloth farming, and has the highly sought after Blackened Defias leather set. The ideal level range is 17 to 21. You can start equipping items as early as level 16 here, but I'd highly advise against coming in so early as you'll aggro everything in every single room. The earliest you can enter the dungeon though is level 10. The recommended group composition is a tank, healer, someone who can off-heal, and then any other DPS classes. One with high AoE is preferred. All in all, I'd recommend anyone to do this dungeon as it will flesh out and introduce you to the trials and tribulations of classic dungeons. We start things off in Westfall. At level 14, Gyron's Stout Mantle in Sentinel Hill offers us the Defias Brotherhood, which sends us to the inn in Lakeshire to speak with Wily to gather some information. Keep in mind this quest can't be shared as it's a chain. Wily sends us back to Gyron in Sentinel Hill. Then Gyron shoos us off once again to speak with Matthias Shaw in the Old Town district of Stormwind. Upon talking to Matthias, he sends us back to Gyron. Gyron now sends us to find a Defias messenger. Just ask in chat where he is, and someone should lead you to him. Once we have the messenger's note, we return back to Gyron, who then has us escort the Defias trader. This quest will show us where the dungeon itself is. Upon completion, Gyron now asks us to head to the Deadmines to collect Van Cleef's head. Before doing that, we head to the top of the tower and collect red silk bandanas from Scout Riel, which requires us to collect 10 Defias bandanas. This quest is only available after we escort the Defias trader. The remainder of the quests are shareable. At level 15, we can pick up O Brother from Wilder Thistlenettle in the bar of the Dwarven District. This quest requires us to collect a pendant from a ghoul before the entrance of the dungeon. He also offers us collecting memories, which requires 4 miners cards. I personally skipped this quest as the drop chance is too low and I'm too impatient to wait for respawns. Lastly, Shoni the Silent in the middle of the Dwarven District offers us Underground Assault, which requires a gear off the second boss Sneed. Do this quest as it opens up another quest for Nomergon, which I'll discuss in a future video. Finally, we can head in. As mentioned earlier, we see an undead area before the entrance. Here we collect the Miner's cards and Foreman Thistlenettle's pendant. Soon after entering, we encounter our first boss, Rahaxor. He does absolutely nothing. He stands there and smacks you aimlessly like a piñata. Kill his bodyguards first to reduce damage. Upon his death, watch out behind you as patrols will spawn. If you turn left into the cave after killing Rahaxor, you may find the dungeon's only rare, Miner Johnson. Our next boss in the Goblin Lumberyard is Sneed. This is a 2-part encounter. We first fight Sneed's Shredder, which will drop the sprocket we need. The only thing the Shredder does is fear, so just make sure you clear the room before pulling. Upon killing the Shredder, Sneed pops out. Some patrols are also summoned. Sneed himself doesn't really do anything, he just hits you quickly, but that's it. Both Sneed and his Shredder drop loot. Next, in the Foundry, we face Gilnid. I honestly don't think he has any mechanics, he's just a beefy goblin. He usually has 2 other goblins with him, kill them first to reduce damage. Like the past 2 bosses, he spawns a patrol upon death. Make sure you wipe the patrol out as they've caused many a wipe. Now things get a bit more interesting. Mr. Smite will be a roadblock if you don't do his mechanics properly. Upon pulling the adds at the bottom of the ship's ramp, Smite also chain pulls. The adds need to die first if you have any hope of victory. After the last add dies, pull Smite a fair distance away from his weapons chest at the base of the ramp. Every 30%, Smite will stun you for a few seconds and grab a new weapon. To avoid being beaten to a pulp, we fight him away from the chest. Repeat this process and you should end up with one of his weapons. Don't worry, no patrols spawn from here on out. Once you climb onto the ship, head left and pull Cookie. Cookie does nothing. He doesn't even hit hard. He's just a murloc with a rolling pin. He does drop a rare Siamese cat for any of you pet collectors. When Cookie drops low, he starts to flee, so just be careful of him pulling more trash. Now we can head to the top of the ship. Our second to last boss is Captain Greenskin, another boss with no mechanics. His difficulty comes in that he has guards, but if you killed Smite, you'll have no trouble with Greenskin. Just pull him down the ramp so you don't chain pull the last boss, Edwin Van Cleef. Finally, we can face off against the leader of the Defias, Van Cleef. Be careful when walking up to his cabin, as his aggro radius is huge. This fight will test your group's damage and healing, as well as their coordination. Van Cleef starts the fight with 2 guards. Unlike other bosses, we ignore them and gun for him. At 50%, he spawns 2 more adds. Your tank will get beat down, so the off-healers should do their best to assist. You can, however, bug out the adds by standing on the cannons near the ramp, but that's cheating. Once dead, we collect his decapitated head. On his body we find a note. This note is the main quest for the stockades, which we'll discuss in a future video. And just like that, you've completed your first dungeon as Alliance. While you watch me turn in quests, I'd like to give an update on my giveaway. If you haven't entered, please do so, as this is your last chance. I'll be announcing the winner in my next video, the Stockades Guide. There is a disclaimer in the description as well as the official rules. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.